welcome to MandoBug Crafts, episode 61. Hey, what's up? I'm MandoBug, but you can call me Amanda if you want. I'd like to say thank you to returning viewers for coming back and sharing a part of your day with me, and welcome to new viewers. I hope you enjoy this episode. So, starting the show out with something I learned. I can't say this week. These past couple of weeks, I haven't been doing much crafting, but these most recent last weeks, I've gotten to do a little bit. And something I learned how to do was the elastic cast on. So normally when I knit socks, I knit them toe up, but I came across a pattern that I wanted to knit for my swap partner, and it was top down, and it called for any elastic cast on. I wasn't familiar with any. Well, I mean, I've never tried any, I've heard of some, but so I went on the internet, searched, stretchy cast on, elastic cast on, and of course the elastic cast on showed up. So I watched a couple tutorials on YouTube, and I had a hard time figuring out how to do it. So, I'm not sure exactly which tutorial I found that helped me figure it out, but basically what you're doing is a twist on the long tail cast on. So, normally with the long tail cast on, you got your yarn in this hand and you use your needle to create the loop and slip it on. Well, the way that I ended up doing the elastic cast on, whether this is correct or not, feel free to correct me, I was creating that long tail cast on loop and then twisting it again. So it was like a double twisted loop onto the cast on. I'm not completely sure if this is exactly what the elastic cast on is, because I had a hard time following the videos like I said, but it did create a stretchier cast on, and so it worked for its purpose. I wish I had the socks here to show you because they are stretchy. They do get to a point where you stretch them out and then it gets hard. Unlike the stretchy bind off, it never gets tight when you stretch it. It just always stretches, and even when it doesn't go anymore, it doesn't feel tight. This one did. Like, you could stretch it really far. I had no problem getting the sock over my heel, but for somebody that has bigger calves, it might be a little too constricting on your calf. I'm not sure. I hope the socks fit my swap partner. I won't know for a little while though, because I just mailed them out yesterday. So the socks I knit was a paid for pattern called Forever Autumn, and I knit them on US size 2 DPNs because that's what the pattern called for, and so it was just easiest to follow the pattern, especially since the pattern is one size only. You really need to be able to meet gauge to get an average size sock. So normally I knit my socks on US size 0, but that would not have worked for this pattern. But I did take pictures, so I'll go ahead and insert a picture of the sock. So yeah, moving on to works in progress. So I got a little bit of knitting done on my Exploration Station shawl, which is a paid for pattern by Stephen West. Let's see. It's a big shawl, you guys. So here we go. I don't know how I can show this to you. It's really big, and as you can see with my cable needle at the bottom picking up, like, I've got it stretched out almost over the whole cable, and it's still bigger than that. So I don't want to lose any stitches, but I do want to show you where I'm at. The last time I shared this shawl, I believe I was in the middle of the brioche section, which is this part right here. So I was able to finish up the brioche and move on to the sassy slips section. I had a hard time with this section of the shawl. I thought it was going to be easy based off the name, but there are knit one, purl one rows, followed by some slipping rows, followed by all knit rows, and so it was like it wasn't easy for me to keep track of the knit one purl one rows, because like normally when you do a knit one purl one rib, you just knit the knit stitches and purl the purl stitches, but that's not how this one was. You really have to pay attention to not make a mistake, and I did make a couple mistakes on the knit one purl one rows, and I had to rip back a couple times because I would put the shawl down, pick it back up, accidentally do two knit stitches next to each other, not realize it, finish the next 150 stitches in the row, and then realize, oh man, I messed up, and have to rip back. So I'm glad that section's over, although it is really pretty and it creates this really nice texture. So now I'm on this section called Nothing But Knit, and I'm just a couple rows into it, but that's much simpler. It really is what it says. It's nothing but knit. So I have this section to do, and then the last section is the border. So I'm nearing the end of this shawl, and I'm really excited to finish it because it's huge. So like, how big it is on me already, and I mean, it's gonna block even more, and I still have the rest of this section and one more to go. So this is by far going to be the largest shawl I've ever knit, and I'm really excited about that, especially since it's starting to cool off. And speaking of it starting to cool off, I got a little motivation to work on my sweater. So I started probably like a month ago this sweater, which is a paid-for pattern by Thea Coleman. It's called Dark and Stormy. It's a top-down cardigan, technically, with this really cute cable pattern down the center of the back, and it's got a little small cable pattern on the front, on each side. Later, you'll pick up and knit like a band and put some buttons on it. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a nice sweater for this fall and winter. I'm knitting this sweater out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts Targhee Worsted in the deep unrelenting gray colorway, and I've been alternating skeins. So I think that's why the yarn looks a little more variegated than the skeins did, but so far I think I'm going to like the way it turns out. Like, you can't see the cables back here, but when I bring it up close, I mean, you can see them. It's not like they're completely drowned out. So I have a feeling I won't really know until I finished it. So I've been knitting this sweater on US size 7, and I'm pretty sure I got a perfect match for gauge with that. I just think the swatch was a little short in the rows, which is fine because I can just knit to the length that I want. The only difference would be maybe the yardage and the pattern doesn't quite match, but I'm very sure I have extra yarn. I also, I don't even have them in here. I've also been working on the Mitered window pane socks by Gladys Wee, and I'm gonna go get those real quick. Okay, I have them. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, but I do not recommend it for beginning sock knitters. I knit these socks while I pump at work, and I have my pumping attachments in here. Anyways, I don't recommend this pattern for beginners because it's a very loose recipe. So you definitely should have knit a couple socks before you attempt this pattern. In my opinion, if you want to try it out as your first sock, go for it, but don't get mad at me if it's difficult. So, since I've last showed it to you guys, I've put in an OMG heel, and I've started working across the top. So this one, I believe I've already worked another row of mitered squares after I put the heel in, and so they're nice and level and they're ready for the leg. And this is what I'm working on this one. Let's see, I have some picked up stitches here that I'm making another square with, and then it will connect. It's hard to show. It will connect to the other end of the heel, and then that should level that out so that I have the whole bottom of the sock and I can just do the leg. I think I'm gonna do, let's see, we have 4 mitered squares here, so I'm probably gonna do 4 rows of mitered squares and then some ribbing and call them good. We'll see as I get there. I might do 5 rows. I don't like extra tall socks. I like a medium length sock. So we'll see how that goes. They're fun to knit, with the exception that like I have to pay attention to the construction of the sock because I'm doing mine a little bit differently than the pattern. So I'm almost making these up as I go to create the shape of a sock. So so far they fit, so nothing, I haven't done anything wrong, but I definitely have to think about what I'm doing as I do it, because like once I get to the leg, because all the mitered squares face the same direction, I'll have the last square that reaches around is going to need to connect to the first one, so there's not just like a weird gap, and I'm going to have to remember as I do that one to knit the stitch, like pick up and knit the stitch together along the side to close it off. So, I mean, besides the fact that I have to really be paying attention to that, it's just mindless mitered squares, which are they're not too bad. They're short and they're fun, so you get quick progress, and it's been great to do while I pump at work because I'm only in there for like 30 minutes. I'm knitting these socks out of Lorna's Laces in the Unicorn Parade colorway on US size 0s, and I'm doing them on short circulars, which is nice because I'm just knitting a mitered square at a time. Sorry, Harvey is getting into some stuff over there, so he caught my attention. So the last thing I've really been working on since I last spoke with you guys is this shawl. So I got the idea to crochet a Halloween inspired shawl and to kind of make the pattern up as I go. And it's funny because I thought I would be able to just write it down as I went. Can you even read that? I have learned that I am not a pattern writer. This is not good for anybody. Some of what I've written down is like projected ideas for the rest of the shawl. Some of it's what I've already done. I mean, already I feel like crochet writing is a little more difficult because it's not as easy to chart, and it's just a lot of repetitive abbreviations and your numbers really have to be spot on. But so I'm crocheting this with a G-hook or 4.25 millimeter out of Dream and Color Classy. Is it Classy? Dream and Color Smushy. Classy's their worsted. I'm like, why did I say Classy? Dream and Color Smushy in the Humdrum colorway and the Black Pearl colorway, right? Halloween. And I've also got some beads in it. So here's what I have so far. I kind of sketched up what I wanted the shawl to look like before I set about making it, and this part right here is way more open than I intended, but I'm gonna keep it. So especially since like I like to bunch up my shawls around my neck, so it actually is kind of to my benefit that it's so open because it's gonna make it easier to bunch it up. And if you were to wear it around the back, I mean, it kind of looks cool, right? Like a big spider back there. Hi, Harvey. Hi, kitty. So, yeah, it's been fun to kind of make it up as I go, but there's no way that I can write this down and share it as I intended because I'm just not a pattern writer. Lindsay bought some yarn and beads to make one as well in lace weight, so I'm hoping that I can... Harvey, nobody wants to see your tail. I'm hoping that I can have my notes are written well enough that I can share it with her, but we'll see. But yeah, I think this is going to be an awesome, very Halloween inspired shawl when I can get around to completing it. And it is fun because crochet is so much faster than knitting. It didn't take me too long to get this far. The rest of the design, if you're curious, I do plan on keeping these black sections plain and the orange sections different lace patterns with beads. And that's the thing I've been having a hard time figuring out, is where and how I want the beads to be placed in this shawl. Maybe someday I'll get around to writing up something nice and fixing it. I mean, I'd have to do another shawl in order to do it, and then get testers and all that, but it's not a priority for me, so it's probably not going to happen anytime this year, maybe not even next year. But I do want to finish this shawl this year. I want to wear it sometime around Halloween. So, and knowing me, I'll wear this shawl year round. So, but yeah, that's everything that I've been working on. So moving on to finished objects. Yeah, why don't you lay down? Thank you. Now you're on my show notes though. He's being cute right now. He's rolling over. Okay. Alright, so the first thing that I finished are these socks that I was knitting out of a Gale's Art double knit sock blank. So, Harvey, like, you gotta figure out what you're doing here, buddy. You're either gonna lay here, or you're gonna go play with some stuff, or you can't just have your tail in front of the camera all day. Okay. I think that's what he's decided to do. Here's how much of the sock blank I had left. We're just going to pretend like you're not here, Harvey. And so I didn't have much left, and you could see a little bit of the E. I didn't quite get all of the letters into my socks, but that's because I didn't want to make them too tall, because then I won't wear them. These were just some plain socks, no pattern, that I knit up on US size 0. I made up the toe as I went. I don't even remember what I did. I think I might have talked about it in a previous episode, so you might be able to go back and find that. Yeah, everybody loves you, okay? Why don't you lay down now? But it's a little hard to see, but I knit these X and O cable patterns up opposite sides on the socks so that I could remember that these socks have the hidden message of love, or almost the complete message of love. L-O-V, little bit of E. So, yeah, I really like the way that these socks turned out. It's really cute, and the sock blank had a bunch of stripes in it, and I really like how the way it was dyed, the stripes kind of blend into each other. It's not a very clean cut stripe, and I like how some of the stripes are a little speckled. So I think those are going to be great year-round socks, although they do have quite a winter theme to them. I think I named them my Winter Love Socks on Ravelry. So, and for I did a Judy's Magic cast on for the toe, and then Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off for the cuff. You just want love. Come here, big guy. Is this what you want? Do you want to be held like a baby? So, the older Emily gets, the more the cats and the dogs get jealous of her, and they've just become so needy. So yeah, you're so needy. Okay, what else have I finished? Oh, I think I showed this to you guys the last episode that I had. This is some merino fin that I blended on the drum carder trying to create a gradient. I had a gradient set of bats, and it went from white to pink to, you want to love on that too, Harvey? White to pink to purple to black. So, but there was so much fiber, I couldn't fit it all on my wheel. So this skein just goes from white to pink, and then I finished the other skein, which goes from pink to purple to black. So these two are meant to be knit together for a full gradient effect, but I just split them up into two skeins. I chain plied these to keep the color progression, so they're 3-ply, and there's a little bit of Firestar mixed in, although I feel like the darker skein got a little bit more Firestar somehow. Also, I spun these a little bit thicker than I originally intended to. I meant to spin them at a worsted weight, but I definitely got more of an Aran, almost bulky weight. This skein is 4.35 ounces and 153 yards. And this skein is 3.05 ounces and 120 yards. So altogether I have about 170, almost 175 yards out of almost 7.5 ounces. So, I mean, it's Aran bulky weight. So, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be able to knit out of this. Originally I had wanted to knit something for Emily, but I'm not sure I have enough yarn for something like that now. I'll have to check it out later when I start browsing some patterns. Oh, and then I also finished a tiny spin. A little spin. So this was something fun that I wanted to do real quick after I got that other fiber off my wheel. This is 3 different strips of fiber from Into the World out of the odds and ends bag. Looks like this. Into the World, odds and ends. And you can see I still have some in there. I took a bunch of the colors and matched them together, kind of like similar color scheme. And I spun 3 separate singles and then plied them all together to get this nice crazy skein. And it was really fun to spin. It was really quick. This is only a 1/2 ounce and I got 51 yards, so about a heavy fingering weight. But it's really, I think it's just fun, and it was fun to spin, and it was quick, and I'm excited to do that with the rest, and maybe I can have a fun, scrappy, crazy colored finished object of some sort. I have no idea what I'll use them for, but I'm enjoying making them, and that's like half of the importance of it, right? I did have 2 single leftovers that I just chain plied on themselves, so you can see that the colors didn't necessarily match up with each other, because here's one and here's the other. So, I mean, I'm really drawn to chain ply because you keep that color progression. And so you can see I could have had a bigger skein of this chain plied and a bigger skein of this chain plied, but instead I have this crazy skein. Here's the thing, I've been chain plying so much that I've forgotten how nice traditional 3-ply yarn is. When you chain ply, I feel like you don't get to take out as much of the twist as you put into the singles, right? Because you're looping it and then plying it, you don't, when it goes back on itself, it's not really unspinning itself kind of like you are with a traditional 3-ply. So I find that my chain plies tend to be a little overspun just because you don't get to take as much spin out when you chain ply as you do when you do a traditional 3-ply. When I chain ply, I have crazy spaghetti yarn until I wash it and try to get some of that energy distributed. When I had this traditional 3-ply yarn, it balanced itself before the bath. And so I'm gonna try to do more traditional 3-plies. It's just hard because I really like the fun, crazy dyed braids, and I really like to keep the color progression. So I might just have to find a way to spin my singles much looser, because I really enjoyed the way that this yarn turned out versus the way it feels when you chain ply, because I mean they're the same singles and these are definitely more overspun than this one. And I have to say, this little skein here is either really nice merino or has silk in it, because this one's not quite as soft, it's more stiff. It doesn't tell you what the odds and ends are, but you can feel the difference between the fancy fibers and then the less fancy fibers. So, Harvey, let me see my show notes. He's just laying here on the table. That's all I got for finished objects. So moving on to check it out, I'm in 2 different, well, I was in 2 different clubs. I'm still in one of them, and I thought I would share with you guys what I got in the mail. So I was a part of the Penguin Soup Firefly Club, and that has now ended, and I'd like to share with you guys what I ended up with. So the third installment of the club usually comes with a project bag. So here's my Firefly project bag. It is a box bag with a picture of Jane and his hat, and it says now it's time for some thrilling heroics, and it's got this awesome orange zipper and orange handle, which is my favorite color, so I love this bag. And inside of it is like this nice galaxy starry pattern. I don't want to show you too much because it's full of the yarn. So I believe I already showed you the first yarn that came with the club, which was like blues and teals and like a sage green. So the second yarn that came was Jane's hat self-striping, and so you can see it's got the yellow, orange, and then like a red orange, burnt orange color. So I'm really excited to knit up some socks with this colorway. I don't remember how many stripes there are of each color, and it doesn't say on the tag, but this is her Emperor sock, and the colorway name is The Enclosed. And then the final color that came in the club was this gorgeous one that was themed around the sky of all the galaxies, and the different colors of the different planets, I should say, I guess. And this one's called Whitefall. So this one is a Royal MCN base, and it's the merino cashmere nylon blend. And I'm really glad that I got the MCN for this colorway because I think this is going to make an awesome shawl or cowl that I will probably wear year-round. Hi, Harvey. You just want one eyeball? Are you concerned about what the dogs are doing outside? My dogs have... Here, Harvey, can we go down? Down, kitty. Down, kitty. Up, kitty. Come on, dude. So, my dogs have had quite the interesting experience outside lately, and that's probably why you hear them bark, is they find random things outside, like lizards, and in the past couple months they have found snakes and killed them. And I mean, like big snakes, like 4 or 5 feet long snakes. So I'm not really sure where they're coming from. I think they're coming from behind our backyard. There's kind of like this nasty stagnant pond back there, and we used to get a bunch of frogs because of it. I don't know if that attracted snakes or what, but I think the snakes are coming from over there. So it's kind of unfortunate because I don't know what kind of snakes they are, and I don't know if they could hurt my dogs. I mean, obviously my dogs can defend themselves, but you know, I'm just glad that we're going to be moving soon. So the other thing that I wanted to share for check it out, Harvey, we're going to have to move you. I don't think people want to stare in your ear all day. Why don't you go down there? Sorry about that. The other thing that came was I backed the Kickstarter for Spun Fiber Company, and my reward for backing the company was to join a 6-month-long yarn club, and the first shipment came in. So here is the first installment of the Spun Fiber Company Yarn Club. So you can see it says Spun Fiber Company. This is the Luna base, and the colorway is called Ferris Wheel. This is 100% local merino, and it's a DK weight. It's 260 yards. So I think the yarn is pretty, but it's not necessarily my kind of colors. So this is definitely going to be knit into something that's a gift, because I just don't wear a lot of pastels. I really like this burnt rusty color that's thrown in here, but I'm not a fan of the pastel turquoise that's in here. So like I said, I like the color. It's just not something that I would wear, if that does that make sense? Like, I've always been the kind of person to see clothes on other people and be like, that looks really nice, but I would never wear it. Not like I'm too good for that, just it doesn't fit into my style. Like, I like it, but I have a certain style that I like to stay within, a certain color range, a certain, like, I like stripes and polka dots kind of a thing. So that's what I mean when I say that. The yarn is not your softest merino, but like, you can definitely wear it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could wear this wherever you wanted to, unless you have sensitive skin. But I've felt softer merinos in my lifetime, I guess you could say. But so yeah, that's all I got for check it out. Moving on to current events. So the Super Summer Spin Along that I'm hosting is, I feel so bad because I maybe recorded once during the spin along and I haven't really been active in the threads. I mean, I haven't podcasted in over 2 months. So I'm not surprised that there's not a lot of participation, but that's okay. I do appreciate you guys who have been joining along. I think there's like been 15 entries or so by now, so I think I'm going to just stick with the one prize that was donated, which I haven't even been able to tell you guys because I haven't recorded since the donation. Kim, who is known as Simply Homespun, yes, Simply Homespun on Ravelry, she owns an Etsy store called Simply Handspun, and she donated a braid of New Zealand Romney that's hand painted, and it's 5.1 ounces, and I'll go ahead and insert a picture. So that's the prize for the spin along, and I'll be drawing for that next time I record. The spin along ends August 31st. You can find all the information about the requirements in the thread under the MandoBug Ravelry group. So yeah, I think it closes in a day or two. I probably should have waited until after it ended to record so I could do the giveaway, but I figured I might as well take a chance to record while I can, since I haven't found time in the last 2 months to do so. So that moves us on to Let's Chat. So why have I been gone for 2 months? I have been busy, and you know what's funny? You know, if you want to, you can always be busy. If you want to, you can never be busy, right? You always have a checklist full of things to do, and it'll be that way till the day you die if you keep adding things to the checklist. You know, you take things off, but that's when people generally add more. There's never enough time in the day to do everything, and so it gets put off to tomorrow, and it just perpetuates itself. What I mean by I'm busy is I'm doing more than I usually do. I've kind of shifted my focus on what's important to me and what I'm trying to accomplish. So I started taking classes online for school. Because I'm active duty military, I get free tuition assistance funding. There's a cap for the year, but I haven't used any of it, so well, I mean, I have now, but I haven't run into the cap yet. So I'm going to American Military University online, and I'm working on a business degree in bachelor administration. A bachelor's in business administration. I thought that sounded funny. I already have 2 associate's degrees, so I really just have to take the focused classes. And I figured it's about time I get a bachelor's degree. Like, I have 2 associate's degrees. What is that good for? I mean, it's better than nothing, but so I just finished my accounting class and like a business fundamentals class. Those went really well. So I'm looking forward to the next quarter. I'm going to be taking a second accounting class and an economics class. So those should be fun. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to be able to get a business degree. As I'm transitioning out of the military, I'm going to be using the GI Bill to finish my education while I stay at home with Emily, and I should have enough assisted assistance, enough funding, I guess I should say, from the GI Bill to complete a master's degree, so an MBA. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and it'll be nice to do it online so that I can stay home with Emily. And so yeah, the only thing is I'm doing it right now while I'm still working, and so basically my day consists of go to work, come home, play with Emily, do homework, cook dinner, go to bed, repeat. So there was a while where I didn't do any crafting, and I've slowly been able to do more as I find that work, school, life balance. But it was a little difficult for me for the first couple of weeks. I mentioned that I'm going to be moving. Because I'm getting out of the military, I don't want to stay in Georgia anymore. We're going to be moving back to Washington in the middle of October. Well, we're going to visit California for a couple weeks first, but eventually we're going to be settling down in Washington, which means I've been going through the out processing process, and we've been kind of prepping, how are we going to move our house and our pets and our vehicles. How is this going to go, and like what do we want to move in the vehicles, and what do we want the moving company to box up and take, because I don't know how long it's going to take the moving company to move our things, and so I don't want to be stuck without anything we might need, and they won't move our pets or Josh's truck. So Josh is probably going to drive cross country with a friend while Emily and I fly. So but it's a whole planning process. And then also, last time I talked to you guys, I had mentioned that I was getting ready to take my first PT test after having Emily, and I was really nervous about it because I wasn't quite passing the sit-up portion of the test. And so what happened was, I continued to work out, really stressing my abdominal muscles, trying to strengthen them in time for my test, and I started feeling really sick, like really sick. And so I stopped working out, and I was sick like 3 or 4 days in a row. Finally, one day when Josh and I went out to dinner, I couldn't even eat the dinner. Like, I ordered the meal and it showed up, and I took a bite, and I was like, I can't eat this, I'm gonna throw up. And I just sat there the whole time, like, trying not to throw up while he finished his dinner. And so when we got home, Josh was like, you need to go to a doctor. You've been sick for way too long. I think you're just working out too hard, and you're dieting, and I think, you need to go make sure everything's okay. And I was like, well, they're just going to make me take a pregnancy test, right? And he's like, sure, whatever. I was like, well, I'll just take one now just to make sure we can rule it out. And so I went to the store and got a test and took it the next morning. And when the results came back positive, I was so confused because I was expecting it to be negative. I was like, that's not what a negative test looks like. 2 lines, that's positive. I'm pregnant. And like, it was this whole like, what? So I went out and told my husband, I'm like, yeah, I am pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. I'm like, that doesn't make it not true. I was like, yes, I am. And he was like, that's a fake test. Where'd you get that test? Did you get it at Spencer's? I was like, no, I got it at the store. It's real. So it was definitely a surprise. At this point, Emily was only 4 months old. So I really wasn't expecting to get pregnant that soon, but I am. As of now, I am 18 weeks pregnant. I'll be 19 weeks at like 2 days. I started showing a lot sooner this time, so I have a little bit of a round belly. I'm already in maternity clothes because I'm like, I can't do this. You can see I have a little rounded belly. I mean, it's a kind of a big rounded belly. So yeah, that's another reason why you haven't seen me in a while, is because between being pregnant and breastfeeding, and a lot of you out there who have children know how hard the first trimester can be. I was just knocked out of my butt. So yeah, I'm in the 2nd trimester now, and I'm starting to get my energy back, and so I'm able to do more, and I'm able to, like I said, find that balance in my life, because I mean, that first trimester I was so tired and hungry all the time, and as was about the time that Emily started crawling, so she was getting into everything, so I have to chase her. Now, I mean, she still crawls, but she does a lot more independent play now, which is nice. Actually, I can go get her real quick so you guys can see her. So, say hi, Emily. Say hi. Look at the camera. Say hi. Nope. She just likes to look around in the room. So Emily's a lot bigger than the last time I recorded. She is going to be 8 months old tomorrow. So time has really just been flying by, and it's crazy. I don't have to wear her anymore. I just kind of throw her on my hip and she's got full control to, as you see, move around and what's going on over here, what's going on over there. Hi, oh hi Harvey. Hi kitty, you like the kitty? Oh, she likes the kitties. Her hair on the top is getting so long we have to put these little ponytails in so that they keep her bangs out of her eyes. Harvey, lay down. There we go. Everybody already got to see you. See what I mean about him being jealous? Yeah, you like the kitty. But yeah, she's doing really good. We don't have any teeth yet, but she does pretty good chewing up some bite-sized snacks with her gums, and she doesn't walk yet either, but she pulls herself up to stand and she'll walk along things, like she'll hold onto the couch and walk along, and she likes to dance. We put nursery songs on for her and she'll just sit there and rock, or if she's standing she'll bounce up and down. But yeah, you gonna rock now? One of her favorite songs is If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Because of the hectic schedule of my life lately, I don't think I'll be recording regularly. Yeah, probably not, huh? Don't eat my hair. But I'll try to record when I can. I just want to make sure that I have the appropriate amount of time to talk to you guys and edit and upload and create show notes, and that also I have stuff to show you. You know, if I don't craft regularly, I won't be able to record regularly. So, yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys made some good progress on your crafts during this episode, and happy crafting! Bye! Say bye! She doesn't say bye yet. Bye!